Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Now, I would like to
Good
check
morning.
with the speakers. Are they coming in the meeting room or together? Let's start with Mr. IB Budiyato. Are you here? Hello. Dr. Sung Hyun
Hello.
Ai.
Hi, bud.
Mr. Ibut, Pak Ibut.
Hello. Good morning. Dr. Rasidan Burnett.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Okay,
morning. Can you hear me?
Mr. Ibut already here.
My voice
Budianto,
is
IB
clear,
Budianto.
Pak Takrim.
Clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, respected speakers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you all. My name is Hong Chun Nanita, and it is my great pleasure and honor to serve as your MC for the Higher Education, Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum 2026. This forum brings together higher education leaders, academics, researchers, and educators to share knowledge, experience, practical approach for advanced, sustainable, and innovative higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, this important meeting forum is made possible through the strong collaboration and partnership of leading institutions and organizations from across the region and beyond. We are honored to have this forum co-organized by Simeo Regional Center for Technical Education Development, Simeo-TED, Kopiti, Indonesia, Bina Insani University, Indonesia, P2A Council for AI, Asia Pacific Consortium of Researchers and Educators, UNESCO International Research and Training Center for Rural Education, UNESCO in Roulette, Penyasastra University of Cambodia, University de Manila, the Philippines, University Pendidikan Sultan
Mua tự nhiên
Idris,
đang ở chợ mà cũng
Malaysia.
vô luôn.
Jeju Hala University, Republic of Korea, and Ho Chi Minh City, University of Technology, Vietnam. We sincerely appreciate their commitment, collaboration, and valuable contribution bring this forum possible. Once again, distinguished guest speaker, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HESDI Forum 2026. Before we begin, let me show you all the opening session agenda as you can see on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, as we now commence our opening session, may I invite you all to please join us for Simeo Color. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the welcome remark. It is my great pleasure to invite IB Budiato, Chairman of Kopiti Indonesia, to deliver his welcome remark. Please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nanita. Honorable Dr. Song Hyang Ai, Director of Xiaomi TED, Honorable Dr. Indra Muiz, Rector of Bina Insani University, distinguished keynote speakers Dr. Ki Kin Sin Jian and Dr. Resident Bernard, esteemed colleagues and all participants of Hesdi Forum 2026. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone. It is a great honor and privilege to be with you today at Higher Education Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum 2026. I am Ida Bagus Budianto as Chairman of Cooperative Indonesia. On behalf of Cooperative, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Xiaomi TED, Bina Insani University, and all co-organizers for inviting us to become a co-organizer of this prestigious international forum. We are truly honored to contribute to this important platform for dialogue and collaboration among higher education institutions across the region. Allow me first to introduce Cooperative Indonesia. Cooperative Indonesia is an association of higher education institutions in Indonesia, established with a shared commitment to advancing the quality of Indonesian higher education. We believe that the future of education can only be achieved through collaboration, innovation, and the continuous development of human capital. Our mission is to strengthen higher education by enhancing the capacity of lecturer, researcher, academic leader, and the students, while promoting collaboration among members of the academic community at both the national and international level. We actively facilitate knowledge sharing, research collaboration, faculty and student development, international partnership, and institutional capacity building. Today, Cooperative Indonesia consists of 17 member universities located across 5 provinces in Indonesia. Although our network continues to grow, our vision remains the same: to contribute to the advancement of Indonesian higher education and to prepare globally competitive graduates through collaboration and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme to this forum, the pursuit of higher education sustainability towards skill development in the digital era, is both timely and highly relevant. Higher education sustainability is no longer limited to financial resilience or environmental responsibility. It also encompasses institutional excellence, digital information, quality assurance, international collaboration, lifelong learning, and the ability to equip graduates with future-ready competencies. Artificial intelligence, digital technology, and rapid industrial transformation are reshaping the global education landscape. Universities must therefore become more agile, more innovative, and more collaborative than ever before. At Cooperative Indonesia, we firmly believe that no university can thrive alone. Sustainability progress can only be achieved through strategic partnership among universities, government, industries, and the international organization. By working together, we can accelerate innovation, strengthen research ecosystem, facilitate academic mobility, and development solutions that benefit not only our institution, but also our societies. Forums such as Hesdi 2026 provide an excellent opportunity to exchange ideas, learn from one another, and establish meaningful partnerships that will shape the future of higher education in Asia and beyond. Cooperative Indonesia remains fully committed to expanding international. We warmly welcome opportunities to collaborate with universities and institutions around the world. Finally, I would like to congratulate to organizers for their vision and dedication in making this important forum possible. I wish all speakers and participants as an inspiring and productive discuss, and I sincerely hope that today's dialogue will lead to concrete collaboration for a more sustainability, innovative, and globally connected higher education ecosystem. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Budianto, for your warm welcome and inspiring remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the opening remark. It is my great honor to invite Dr. Song Hyung Ai, Director of Semiota, to deliver his opening remarks.
Distinguished guests, Mr. Budianto, the Chairman of Cooperative Indonesia, honorable university leaders, esteemed speakers, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. It is my great pleasure and honors on behalf of Semiotet, Southeast Asia Minister Education Organization, Regional Center for Technical Education Development, to welcome you all to the Higher Education Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum 2026 today. First, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Cooperative Indonesia, Bina Insani Universities, APCO Philippines, UNESCO Enroll, P2A Council for AI, and all our co-organizers and university partners from Asian countries, South Korea, China, for their valuable cooperation and support to make this important forum happen. I welcome all distinguished speakers, university leaders, academic, researcher, educator, practitioner, and participants joining us from different corners of the world. Higher education is facing a period of rapid and profound transformation during the digital era. Digital technology, artificial intelligence, changing labor market demand, and the growing importance of sustainable development are changing the way universities teach, conduct research, engage with societies, and prepare students for the future. Today's universities are expected to do more than produce graduates. They must become centers of innovation, lifelong learning, research, community engagement, and sustainable development. This means that sustainability in higher education is not only about the environment. It also includes institutional resilience, quality education, digital transformation, inclusive learning, strong governance, partnership, and future-ready skill. This is why the theme of our forum today focuses on sustainability. The pursuit of higher education sustainability towards skill development in the digital era. Our change is not simply to adopt new technology. Our challenge is to use technology wisely and responsibly to improve education and prepare our learners for a rapidly changing world. At the same time, we cannot address these challenges in silo. We need stronger partnership among universities, government, industry, communities member, and international organizations. We need to share experiences, learn from one another, conduct collaborative research, and create opportunity for academic exchange and institutional capacity building. I am therefore very pleased that the forum today brings together experts and practitioners from across the region to discuss sustainable university leadership, digital transformation, university industry community partnership, artificial intelligence, and innovative teaching and learning approach. I hope this forum will be more than just a platform of presentation, but a room for discussion, partnership, and networking. Let's make the forum a dialogue, partnership, and actionable. Our responsibility is not only just to prepare students for change, but to prepare them to lead change. Together, let us work toward universities that are sustainable, inclusive, innovative, digitally capable, and responsive to the needs of our society. I wish the forum today a successful, meaningful, and productive discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sung Hyun Ai, for your inspiring and meaningful opening remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move to one of the key highlights of the Hesdi Forum 2026, the keynote presentation session. The keynote session will focus on the important and timely topic of future skilled digital citizens and graduate readiness for Industry 4.0. As technology continues to transform industry, workplace, and society, higher education institutions have increasingly important role to play in equipping graduate and young people with the digital competency and skill, and innovative mindset required to success in rapidly changing world. Our keynote session will explore both the rural youth perspectives and broader institutional and digital transformation required to prepare graduates for the futures of work. To begin, we are honored to have Dr. Si Jin Sing, Assistant Director of UNESCO in RULAB, who will present on preparing rural youth for industry. Dr. Shi brings valuable expertise and international experience in education, rural development, and skill development. His presentation will provide important perspectives on how education and skill development can better prepare rural youth and participate in the changing world of work and benefit from opportunity created by Industry 4.0. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to watch the video record from Dr. C.
Very good morning, dear colleagues, distinguished guests, partners, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning. Thank you for having me today online. My name is Qi Xinjian. I'm Assistant Director of UNESCO in RULAB, International Research and Training Center for Rural Education. It is my great honor to join you today online and the Hesdi Forum 2026, which is a platform that brings together higher education leaders, researchers, and practitioners from across Asia and beyond to address one of the most pressing questions of our time. How do we prepare our youth, especially those in rural and underserved settings, for a future that is already around us? The theme of this forum, Pursuit of Higher Education Sustainability Towards Skills Development in the Digital Era. Theoretical foundations and practical approaches resonates deeply with the mission of UNESCO in RULAB. For over 3 decades, we have worked to advance education for sustainable rural development, grounded in the conviction that rural communities are not passive recipients of development, but active agents of their own transformation. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I believe affects everyone every single one of us, directly or indirectly, how we can prepare our rural youth, rural young people for the fourth industry revolution through digital transformation and entrepreneurship education. This is just not an academic topic for me. The numbers, data I'm going to share here are not just data. They represent real people, real lives, and real missed opportunities in the real world. So about the UNESCO in Route is a Category 2 center established in 1994 with a mandate to promote sustainable social economic development in the rural areas. So we defined the education for sustainable rural development in two ways. First is education itself in the rural areas. Second is education for rural development and sustainable rural development in 4 dimensions: economic, social, environment, and cultural. So this is a framework of our center for the mid-term strategy. You can see we have 4 areas. Education for sustainable rural development is a overreaching goal. And we have 2 priorities. One is global priority. That is, we follow UN priority, Africa, and agenda. We have priority groups, youth, and small island. We have 4 main lines of action: the research and the knowledge production, second, policy dialogue and advocacy, thirdly, capacity development, and lastly, information sharing and networking. The 4 main lines of action times 5 thematic areas. So that is the work mainly in our center. So right now, why rural education? From this page, right now in 2023 and 2024, roughly nearly 50% of the world's population living in the rural areas. That is nearly half of the global population. And if you look at the low-income countries, the figure jumps to 60 to 67%. So we are talking about millions of people, not millions, billions living in the rural communities. Now, here are the problem. The OECD 2023 Digital Education Outlook makes it very clear. Digital education ecosystem are absolutely crucial for rural and remote settings. But the same report, along with OECD Regional Outlook 2023, confirms something we all know that, but rarely confront head-on. The rural-urban gap in education quality and outcomes is not closing, it's persisting. So the digital divide, who are left behind? Let me give you some numbers from the ITO 2025 connectivity report. 2.2 billion people are still offline. Yes, that is an improvement from 2.3 billion in 2024, but let's be honest, 2.2 billion is still a large number. Here is a kicker: 96 of those offline people living in low and middle income countries, and most of them are in rural and remote areas. The urban-rural divide is brutal. 85% of urban population are online, compared to just 58 in rural areas. And it gets worse rural women and young people are hit the hardest. The gender gap and the age gap compounded the rural disadvantages are not just one barrier, it's multiple barriers stacked on the top of each other. Let me paint you an even clear picture of mobile network coverage in the rural areas. 15% have no mobile coverage at all. 19% are stuck with 2G networks. 18 have 3G. Only a tiny fraction have across to 4G or better. So when we talk about digital transformation, we need to remember for huge swaths for rural population, we are not even at the starting line yet. So the education funding gap. So let's talk about the finance. According to UNESCO's 2023 Global Education Monitoring Report, low and middle income countries face an annual education funding gap of 170 billion. That is up from the previous estimate of 148 billion. The gap is growing, not shrinking. And the World Bank tells us that low income countries spend just 2% of their GDP on education, while high income countries allocate about 5.5%. Think about what that means. We are not just talking about a gap in funding. We are talking about a gap in opportunities, a gap in hope, a gap that preter's poverty and inequality across generations. So both the multi-dimensional poverty, the rural youth, and the 8%. The UNDP's 2025 Global Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index gives us perhaps the most sobering picture of all. Out of 6.3 billion people across 109 countries, there are 1.1 billion, that is about 18.3%, live in accurate multi-dimension poverty. About 83.5% of those poor people living in rural areas, even though rural areas account only 54.9% of the total population, and 27.8% of all children living in the multiple dimensional poverty, that is more than double the rate among adults. And here's something that might surprise you. Nearly 2/3 of all poor people, about 240 million, living in middle income countries, not just in the poorest nations. So what the bottom line, rural youth are the most vulnerable and the most left behind and the most in need of our attention. If we want to achieve sustainable development, we must start with youth. So the UN summit showed that only 70% SDGs goals are tracked for Agenda 2030. And what is the urgency? It's double crisis. The youth employment crisis. Now, the ILO, International Labour Organization's Global Employment Trends for the Youth 2026, and the title says, a wake-up call. There are 67 million young people are unemployed globally, and 257 million youth are not in employment, education, no training, what are called NEET. That is an increase of 9 million since 2023. Slow economic growth, fewer jobs being created, geopolitical tensions, and rapid technology change are making the school to work transition harder and harder than ever. And again, gender plays a huge role. More than 2 out of every 3 NEET youth are women. When the ILO Director General says, when young people are left out of quality employment, countries lose talent, productivity, and the social cohesion. It's not being dramatic, it's being accurate. So the skills crisis. So 39% skills obsolete by 2030. So because of AI disruption, the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Report 2025 tells us 39% of the current core skills will become obsolete by 2030. Let that sink in. Nearly 4 out of 10 skills that people are using right now will be irrelevant in just a few years. And 22% of jobs will undergo structural change. And AI disruption will create about 78 million new jobs, but it will also eliminate about 29 million jobs lost. So the near effort is negative, and the people who will suffer most are those who don't have access to reskilling and upskilling opportunities, which you guys are this opportunity in rural areas. So the competencies we need, and in route, we've identified 4 clusters of the competencies, which is also from the ILO. Firstly, technical competencies. Things like AI literacy, data analysis, digital literacy, cyber security, and big data skills. These are the hard skills, the tools of the trades and future. Secondly, cognitive capacities, analytical thinking, complex problem solving, creativity, and adaptability. Because in a world where technology changes every few months, the ability to think and the ability to adapt is more valuable than knowing one specific tool. Third, social and human skills, leadership, collaboration, emotional intelligence, and continuous learning. And fourthly, the entrepreneurship skills, the ability to identify opportunities, to find problems, and find innovative solutions and manage risks. Because in rural areas, we can't just wait for jobs to appear, and we need young people who can create jobs, who can build business, and who can engage with local economic growth and community development. The ILO 26 report emphasizes the beautifully we need to invest in skills that combine technology competencies with some social cognitive capabilities. It is not either, or it is both. Okay, so rural education, rural are crucial important, and youth are crucially important for sustainable development. And UNESCO in route, we have a new initiative to address this big topic. We have the new initiative, the learning village in the digital era, that is a human-centered paradigm. So in our traditional thinking that the rural is deficit, and the rural actually in our principle is a site. acknowledge learning is schooling, and success is higher exam scores. Innovation is from rural link to urban. That is in the new learning village in the digital era principle, we will change totally in the mental side about the learning, success, and innovation. So this is our learning in the digital era 2026 conceptual framework. You can see that in the centered, that is the digital twinning, that is focusing on the inclusiveness and the incentive. In the learning, in the scaling, in the sustainable development dimensions, and also in the digital connectivity, in the foundational skills and content and resources, both from the enablers to outcomes. This is also the people-centered, private, and public partnership approaches is recommended, and also need monitoring and evaluation process. Actually, in UNESCO in root, we have the Learning Village Conceptual Framework 2024. And what is the difference? We address the AI and the digital era in the rural settings. That is following an active serial change from enabling conditions to sustainable rural development. Enabling conditions, that is the connectivity, policy, fundamental skills, local relevant content, and partnership. The mechanism, we have the community learning centers and open universities, flexible pathway, digital training, and incentive accountability. So the learning outcomes, digital literacy, vocational skills, civic knowledge, ecological awareness, and also agency. So finally, we achieve sustainable rural development. So in the residence, equitable, digitally empowered learning villages and skills. So the learning village digital era is also an action framework for change. So you can see from the scoping, the challenges and the opportunities, also a comprehensive scoping experiences of the challenges faced by rural leaders and opportunities for rural development through learning, leveraging technology. The developing of tools, a tool to help rural communities assess the presence of key enablers, mechanisms, and outcomes, identify gaps, and promote localized learning solutions. So thirdly, establishing dynamic assessment plans. Then lastly, synergizing and scaling best practices. So following this initiative, we are calling for the good practices globally. The following types of case studies are particularly welcomed from your settings and your working. Digital meditation and connectivity, community-led initiatives, comparative research, innovative projects, 5 dimensions. While traditional case studies are encouraged, we welcome creative and interactive formats that reflect diverse learning experiments. Submission can include multimedia, virtual storytelling, practical doors, community content. Okay, this is the Back to the Future partnership for the future. 4 ways higher education institutions can participate, can be engaged. Firstly, is the curriculum and pedagogy, flexible, modular, competency-based programs for rural leaders, digital blended and experiential learning approaches. Also, secondly, strengthen partnership. This refers to university, community, industry, government collaboration, align education with labor markets needs and rural priorities. Third, to promote equity and inclusion, prioritize rural women, girls, ethnic minorities, and the poorest, unreached. Address systematic barriers and create clear pathway. Lastly, to join our network, you may submit case to the LVDE Global Call and partner on joint research, policy dialogue, and capacity building. You can also engage your students in our programs. So, innovation and takeaways for my presentation work as a network. And I introduced that we have 4 mainline types of work at UNESCO involved, and we involved the policymakers for the dialogue, and we have the trainings for the trainers to involve the managers, and we have the practitioners, and also especially the youth group. So this is from the bottom up, from policy to resources to actions to make impacts, also from the bottom to the top, from the youth voice, engagement, and efficiency to empower the youth. So the 5A strategy for us, for this initiative and other flagship programs, we adapt, we accompany, we assisting, we assess, and we advise. This is a circle for our program circle. So I wrap up here, time constraints, and I wish that to join us with all participants and your institutions to work together to promote the sustainable development in the region and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we now continue with our second keynote speaker. It is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Rasidan Bernat, Managing Director of the Asia Pacific Consortium of Researchers and Educators. Dr. Bernat will present on preparing graduates for Industry 4.0 skill readiness through digital and institutional transformation. This presentation will explore how higher education institutions can train graduate employability and Industry 4.0 readiness through digital transformation, institutional innovation, and development of the future-oriented skill. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Rasidan Bernat.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Very clear.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Asia Pacific Consortium of Researchers and Educators, together with our more than 100 institutional members and 10,000 individual members, I would like to extend our appreciation to Simeo Ted, of course, to Dr. I, belated happy birthday, by the way, for inviting us to these Higher Education Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum 2026. Today, I am tasked to share with you an important topic on future skills for digital citizenship. Let me share my slide. May I be given access to share my slide, please? Okay, I'll be sharing my slide.
Please let him access to share.
There. Can you see my screen at this point?
Sure.
Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Ready.
Thank you so much. So once again, to our distinguished officials from CIMEO and CIMEO TED, our fellow educators, researchers, institutional leaders, and industry partners, good morning to each and everyone. I am pleased to join this forum to discuss what I believe leaders and industry partners should understand. One of the defining responsibilities of higher education today. We frequently ask whether our universities are ready for artificial intelligence, automation, big data, and industry 4.0. I would like to reverse that question. Are the graduates we are producing ready to live, work, create, and make responsible decisions in this kind of environment? My central argument today is that Industry 4.0 readiness is no longer principally about acquiring technology. It is about developing human capability, and that cannot occur without transforming the institutions, particularly our higher education institutions, for developing that capability. In the presentation of Dr. Key, I just want to reiterate the data that he presented. Consider the scale of current labor market change. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2025 estimates that the structural transformation could affect about 32% of jobs by 2030. Employers anticipate around 170 million new jobs, while 92 million may be displaced, producing a net gain of approximately 78 million jobs. This is important because discussions of Industry 4.0 sometimes fall into two extremes. One says technology will destroy employment. Other says technology will automatically create technology or prosperity. Neither is adequate. Technology changes tasks, as we all know. Some disappear, some are augmented, and completely new tasks emerge. Therefore, our challenge in higher education is not to predict every future occupation. It is to prepare graduates who can remain capable when occupation themselves change. The core consequential figure for universities may actually be 39%, as shared by Dr. Shi as well. Employers surveyed by the World Economic Forum expect about 39% of workers' core skills to change by 2030. 63% identify skills gaps as a major barrier to organizational transformation. Analytical thinkings remain the most frequent cited core capabilities, while AI and big data, including cybersecurity, technological literacy, are among the fastest growing skills. Yet creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, curiosity, lifelong learning, and leadership are also increasing importance. That combination matters. The future is not technical skills versus human skills. It is technical competence multiplied by human judgment. A graduate who knows an AI application but cannot examine its answers critically is not AI ready. A graduate who can analyze information but cannot communicate findings or work with others is also incomplete. Let us look into the data from Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia illustrates why access and capability must be separated. ASEAN's 2025 policy brief reports average internet penetration of approximately 76.0% across ASEAN member states. Although national levels remain quite uneven, but connectivity is only the first layer. ASEAN's higher education evidence report that about 1 in 2 young Southeast Asians perceive a need to improve their basic digital skills, while 72.3% reported no or low advanced digital skills. This gives us 3 concepts. First, digital access means that we can connect. Digital competence means we can use technology. Digital agency means that we can decide what technology to use, evaluate what it produces, adapt it a problem, create something new, recognize its risks, and take responsibility for consequences. Our target is not simply digital access, not simply digital competence. Our target should be digital agency. The evidence from our region also challenges simplistic fears about automation. World Bank estimates that between 2018 and 2022, robot adoption in 5 ASEAN economies contributed to approximately 2 million additional skilled formal jobs, while around 1.4 million lower skilled formal jobs were displaced. The troubling figure is elsewhere. Only around 10% of jobs in Asia and the Pacific contains tasks complemented or complementary to AI, compared with approximately 30% in advanced economies. So I suggest that we stop asking only, will AI replace our graduates? A better question is, are we preparing graduates whose work becomes more valuable when AI is available? That means graduates who can formulate problems, contextualize information, verify evidence, exercise professional judgment, communicate with other people, and make decisions for which somebody must remain accountable. So the question, what should a future-ready digital citizens be able to do? I propose 6 capability domains, a synthesis of the international and ASEAN evidence. First, digital and AI fluency. Using digital systems, AI, cloud platforms, automation, and discipline-specific technologies productively. Second, data and analytical reasoning. Knowing how to ask questions of evidence, interpret data, and recognize weak evidence. Third, creative problem solving and innovation. As routine execution becomes easier to automate, the ability to frame unfamiliar problems becomes more valuable. The fourth is human collaboration and leadership. Communication, teamwork, intercultural competence and negotiations, and social intelligence are equally important these days. The fifth is adaptive learning and entrepreneurial agency. Our graduates must know how to update themselves because their first degree cannot contain everything they will need over a 40-year career. Finally, ethical, cybersecure, and sustainable digital citizenship. If you can notice that only part of this framework is explicitly technical, that is intentional. Industry 4.0 readiness is human technology capability, not merely a technology capability. UNESCO's AI competency framework, which I believe Dr. Shi also shared with us in his presentation, gives us an important direction. It identifies 4 areas: a human-centered mindset, ethics of AI techniques and application, and AI system design. Competence develops from understanding, apply, to create. And this progression is particularly useful for higher education. We should not be satisfied because our students know how to prompt an AI system. We should also ask, our students can understand each limitation? Can they recognize hallucination and bias? Can they determine whether human verification is required? Can they protect confidential data? Or can they acknowledge AI appropriately? Can they bring a design or process using AI? And can they determine whether or when using AI would be unethical? A responsible digital citizen is therefore not simply a technologically competent person. It is a person capable of exercising human agency in a technological environment. We should also examine how we judge readiness. An ADB study in the Philippines found an interesting perception difference. About 90% of surveyed training institutions believed graduates were adequately prepared for their entry-level employment. Only 58% of IT BPO employers and 56% of electronics employers agree. This is what we call readiness perception gap. Universities frequently measure readiness through academic completion. We ask whether our students completed the subjects. Did the students accumulate the credits? Did the students pass the examinations? However, industry encounters graduates differently. They ask, can the graduates or students solve a problem? Can this person adapt to a new system? Or can this person communicate? Or can this person work without complete set of instruction? Or can this person learn? Universities should not surrender curriculum to industry, but we cannot credibly define employability without listening systematically to the environment into which our graduates move. We need to distinguish digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. And this distinction is essential for institutional leaders. When we convert paper into PDF, that is digitization. When we automate enrollment, use LMS, for example, or move transaction online, that is digitalization. Digital transformation as something more fundamental. How should the university itself operate differently? Because digital technology has changed what education can and must accomplish. For a teacher, uploading a lecture to an LMS is not necessarily transformation. Allowing our student to submit the same essay electronically is not necessarily transformation. Buying an AI subscription is not necessarily transformation. Transformation occurs when curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, research, student support, governance, and institutional decision-making are redesigned around new capabilities and new realities. If we expect a different graduate, we need a different capability ecosystem around that graduate. Curriculum must become more agile. Assessment must measure authentic performance. Faculty capability must be continuously renewed. Infrastructure must support meaningful participation, not simply hardware acquisition. Industry engagement must move from occasional consultation toward co-designed learning work-based experiences. Remember, degrees should connect with lifelong learning and modular learning. And institutional governance must address AI ethics, cybersecurity, privacy, data governance, and academic integrity and sustainability. And this direction is consistent with the ASEAN Digital Master Plan 2030, which identifies digital talent and future skills as regional desired outcomes and specifically calls for advanced digital skills, collaboration among government, industry, and learning institutions, lifelong learning, and reskilling and talent development. Digital transformation is therefore not responsibility of an IT office. It is an institutional responsibility. What must change inside the classroom, we might ask? Perhaps the most immediate implication concerns assessment. Generative AI can already write conventional essays, isn't it? It can summarize readings, generate code, construct presentation, and answer many standard examination questions. If an AI system can easily reproduce the output that we use as evidence of learning, then we must reconsider the evidence, isn't it? The answer is not simply to prohibit technology. It is to design stronger assessment. We need to ask students to analyze a local case. We need to ask them to defend an interpretation orally. Ask them to verify an AI response against evidence. Ask them to design something. Test it and explain why it failed. Ask them to work with real data. Ask for portfolios, simulations, demonstration, research, including prototypes and reflective justification. The important shift is from asking, can the students produce an answer? Toward asking, can the students evaluate, defend, verify, improve, and take responsibility for the answers? This is a much stronger test of future readiness. For Southeast Asia, transformation must also reflect our diversity. The region contains highly digitalized systems alongside institutions and communities where connectivity, equipment, and faculty capacity remain constrained. ASEAN's own evidence warns that the digital divide can deepen educational inequality when students lack infrastructure, competent teaching, and digital resources, as presented by Dr. Shi in the situation of our rural students or youth. Therefore, transformation must be inclusive by design. At the institutional level, let us prioritize agile curriculum review informed by labor markets, intelligence, faculty reskilling, work-integrated learning, stronger university-industry collaboration. Of course, we need to include stackable and modular learning opportunities, accessible digital infrastructure, systematic graduate tracking, responsible AI governance, and regional recognition and mobility of skills. The ASEAN Digital Master Plan 2030 explicitly identifies the shortage of talent in AI, including cybersecurity, cloud engineering, and data science. And it calls for stronger digital education system and lifelong learning. The strategic question for every institution is therefore not what new technology should we buy? It is what new capability should our students and our institutions develop? Let me close with one compelling question. Can every graduate work with technology, with data, with people, with uncertainty, and with responsibility? If we cannot provide convincing evidence for each of those capabilities, then our transformation remains unfinished. The future-ready graduate is not a human being trained to compete against the machine at what machines do best. The future-ready graduate understands what technology can do, recognizes what it cannot or should not do, and possesses the knowledge, creativity, judgment, humanity, and responsibility to determine what should happen next. Our task, therefore, not merely to prepare graduates for Industry 4.0. It is to prepare responsible digital citizens capable of shaping Industry 4.0. And perhaps the most important future skills is the capacity to remain meaningfully human in an increasingly intelligent digital world. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you very much for the invitation. I am Dr. Bernard, again, on behalf of the Asia Pacific Consortium of Researchers and Educators. We extend our appreciation to Simeo and Simeo Tech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bina, for your excellent and insightful presentation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to session 1 of the Hesdi Forum 2026 entitled Building Sustainable and Future-Ready University. To lead this important discussion, this is my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Mr. Song Sarun, Head of Public Relations and Partnership, Semiotat. Mr. Sarun will guide the session and facilitate the presentation, the exchange of ideas among our distinguished speakers. Mr. Sarun, please lead the session 1.
Thank you.
Thank you, MC. Thank you, everyone. Dear distinguished guests, respected speakers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. So it is my great pleasure to welcome you to session 1 on the sharing forum of higher education, sustainability, and digital innovation. Can you hear me well, right, everyone?
Yes, sir. Loud and
Okay,
clear.
thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
So in the early session keynote presentation, you just have listened to very interesting sharing from about 2 experts, one from UNESCO Indonesia, Dr. Si Sin, and also one from APCO, Dr. Bernard Rashidan. Very interesting sharing on future skill for rural youth and digital citizen. And you have also heard the 4 competency of digital use and 6 domain for future-ready digital citizen. I believe that some of us may also agree with them, right? So in this session 1, we will focus on building sustainable and future-ready university, leadership, digital transformation, and strategic partnership. So as you know that university today are at the turning point digital transformation and artificial intelligence are changing now, and how we teach, how we learn, we research, we work, while sustainability, new skill, demand, and global uncertainty are reshaping the role of university. So in this session, we will hear from three distinguished university leader and expert, one from Cambodia, one from Vietnam, and one from the Philippines. So let me introduce the first speaker to everyone to begin our session. Our guest speaker, Dr. Gul Sophia, the Vice President of Banyasatra University, Cambodia. Dr. Sophia is actively involved in PUC university leadership, strategic planning, academic development, and international partnership. And also, she has a strong commitment to educational innovation and sustainable higher education, with more than 20 years working experience in teaching, education, and research. So Dr. Sophia will speak on building sustainable university leadership, governance, and international collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Goldrich Sophia. Dr. Sophia, the floor is yours. Dr. Sophia?
Thank you. So, good morning. Can you hear me well?
Yes,
Just-
ma'am.
Yes,
Very clear.
ma'am. Very clear.
Thank you. So, good morning, everyone. It is a great honor for today that allowing me the opportunity to be a part of the Hesdi Forum in 2026. As we know that this is the world we live in nowadays, it's a really fast pace with the up-to-date technologies, and yet we still encountered a lot of youth development and the readiness for our young scholar. So in order to bring this into the stage for today's discussions, I would like to share some insight how we as an educator come together and help promote, navigate, and integrate with all these technologies into well-fit curriculums and updating to fit the high demand in these global markets. So PUC, Banyasastra University of Cambodia, is pleased to share whatever that we had learned for the past 20 years that we still standing in the market. We produce a whole lot of scholars, which is a really main power for our society. So without any delay, I would like to start with the topic of leadership, governance, and international collaborations. Thank you for Simultats. Thank you, Dr. Aisen Hieng, for inviting me and the rest of the team, the Kotapip in Indonesia, and the rest of the guest speakers. And this is a really great honor for PUC to be a part of this forum. Can you move to the next one, please? So I'm going to tackle on the four components that we are going to share. I know that everybody is really committed and to the points that we are really concerned and we are really well equipped and get ready to the most up-to-date fast-growing world. AI has been a really hot topic that everybody talking about, and a lot of people still catching up and still have a lot of questions, a lot of answer that has not been provided to the core. But yet, let me bring you all back to the basics, and at least common ground that we all can stand together, work together to promote this education in a moral and productive community. I'm going to touch base on the purpose of building the sustainable university, which might be working for some, but some others might not. Some governance and leaderships and international collaboration, which our university has been standing to that principle, the core principle. Next, please. So, education. We always mentions that being an educator, it's never stop learning, even for ourselves. There's no dead end, there's no period, and there's no phrase that determine or tell us this is it, right? And the word lifelong learners always stuck in outside our mind, our brain, that this is a journey, and this is the missions, and this is what the educator will embed it for the well-being of our youth, of our society. And this is the tree that I took the picture when I visit one of the province in Cambodia. Even though I saw this, and perhaps this one can share some insights, because this one is 100 years old plus trees. Their roots and their branches still standing strong to tell us stories. What is education take roots, and what is being an educator we'll be looking at. Next, please. For us, as a PUC, we always take a look at how we can educate and how we can motivate, empower our students to be able to participate, to be able to transform, to be able to integrate all those knowledge into a real work practice. A holistic approach is that we are applying throughout the course curriculums across the management and across the team members. We looking at the strategic planning to create a bridge for those that need some assistance, for those that just take the first steps, and for those that just are fresh graduates that come into our door. So the sustainability is really a really good point for today, top question and objective. But yet, when we tackle on this type of education, and I'm thinking that, you know, when you educate, you just cultivate from the seedling all the way to the fruitfuls that we will reap some days, and enjoy the sweetness or the blossomness of these seedling trees. So this is what it's rewarding for us as an educator. But in the meantime, we never forget that in order to complete the whole approach, the holistic ways, that we need to think about what is the people needs, what's the markets, what is the high demands, what is it that we have enough tips and tools to equip our students to fit into the fasting and moving digital world nowadays. So R&D is still our main priority, that all the educators come together, and just like today, that's a great honor. I learned a lot from our previous guest speakers on the still leading the whole education sectors to the next level. So being tested, the theory or the case study, we enable our brain, create our pathway, or even the neuroplasticity that we all have to think about, and allow them enough time to experiment, to test it, and to utilize it and then reassess it. So this is for us, we stick to that holistic approach. And the most importantly, in a fast changing world, as we know, change is constant. You ready or not? Here it comes. In order to do so, there's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure for our youth, our students, to be able to adapt, to be able to convey those messages to our teachers, professors, how they understand, how they will be able to take these ideas and then transform into a practical or even to create something that is useful for the society. So this is a really challenging task for the educator and our student as well. So adaptability play in a really big role for us to be able to navigate, to go with the flow, and to be able to know how to stop, know how to take a rest, and know how to speed. In order to do so, we have to equip our student, our next generation, to be ready that the message is change, it's always constant. In order to be able to adjust to that, evaluation technologies based on the integration, we had to pinpoint or bring out to the advantage and disadvantage of the usage of technologies. As we know, Steve Jobs created something we call iPad or cell phone. That might be one can silence the world. We look at the parenting, everything is with the screen. We look at the teaching. Everybody use their fingers to press on the glass. Everybody give up the book, the space, the taste, the sense, and all our visual, especially. So reading that we are seeing something that is really slowing down because of the constant gratification of our students. It's mean that, you do something, you're looking for a result right away. So that's make the really negative impacts on the attention spans. So this is, we have to pay attentions. We have to be able to pinpoint and raise this to our management and our teaching strategy as well. Adjust is not that simple. It's a lot of resistance, but yet times hopefully will be standing on our side along with the assisting device and technologies. Hopefully our youth and our young generation have enough tools and tips and time to work with it. Next, please. So communities matters. PUC is big on that. PUC is the number one leading in community service in Cambodia. So we allow students, we allow the young minds, explorers, and we want them to feel that their ideas, it's really make the big impact to their communities. So our programs or curriculums embedded into this heavy volunteer works and community-based service, it's a part of our culture of PUC. When we talk about PUC, we talk about community service. And this make us a really outstanding and receiving from our societies that our students, they go through all this pathway and this long journey, not just prepare them academically success, but yet morally and adaptivity to be able to be a good citizens for the society as well. The last point is the growth mindset. Honestly, mindset is always the first start and always the best and always the core. We go to the core, and what is it that make us stand out is we embrace and accept the challenge. Everything come with a price. And I still remember pressure makes diamonds in a sport game, basketball games, and whatever it is, we always provide opportunity, reshape this young mind, re-educate these little hearts to be able to think, to adapt, and to looking further, not just from personal interests, but for the interests of our society as well. Next. Good governance. I remember a really good quote from Lao Tzu. The good governance is governless. So this is what we practice in our university. From top to bottom, left to right, our student has been given the opportunity to explore, to seek for their own interests and translate that into a public. Our fundraising from the catastrophe of the nature, Mother Nature, to the conflict wars, border between Cambodia and Thailand, to the orphanage center, and to the hospitals. So we done it all. Our president, Dr. Kolpain, he has the visions that Panyasas is represent his, its motto is Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is the moral conduct that all students who entered into our university is make sure they were equipped with the morality, with the characters that will be later on beneficial for communities and for themselves as well. In the meantime, Samadhi, and I know it's everybody more likely understood of the Buddha, the Buddhist teaching, it's the mindfulness, know the root cause, understand the nature of it, and the questions how we gonna make it into a possible ways that the student can be able to accept and then achieve later on. And wisdom, so through all this training, countless workshops that we allow all our students to have the opportunity to expose into a different levels of training, from technologies all the way to moral conducts. This is the way that our curriculum design, this is the way that PUC has been integrate or implemented into our curriculum. Leadership-wise, I don't really want to talk about this because this is a forum that I had been, learning and observing from our distinguished guests. And at this level, we know what is the leadership means, what is it, but yet I still believe from the seedling all the way to a trees, from a trees we'll create a forest. And what is it that who gonna benefit from that? It's the shades, it's the fruits, it's the root, it's the bark, it's the branch, it's the leaves. And all those, it's represent the education is all about. With this, our leaders will stand behind, support our students, guide the way, and navigate them through the course that, it's okay to make mistake, but yet don't repeat it. And yet you have to be able to get over it. I don't really want to say much about this, but it is all we did all the past 20 years that we had produced numerous scholars that speak a lot for us already. How we participate in one part of the community to build the human capacity to help, to support, and to guide, to make an impact into our countries. And I know I'm willing to learn, and I know that some of our guest speakers will share this insight along throughout the forums. So let me move to that slide, please. To the next slide. Strengthen our capacity. And again, just like I mentioned earlier, one tree provide some shades. Numerous trees create a forest. So we can enjoy, we can benefits, we can see that the next generation will be prosper because us has been the one try to expose or try to maybe experience it ourselves to see this is work, this is not work. And in this era, it's very challenging. AIs almost take over with a lot of tools. But yet, we have to remember we are human, and humans create AI, and humans have a strong capability to connect. So we are not alone, whatever you are across the globe. But yet, the connection between us provide us a really sustainable network that make their humanity become a really a socialized and civilized world. Architecture frameworks for our university, it's continuous, develop continuous to reform and reshapes based on the needs and the world's keep changing. So everybody stay alert, and we all make sure that awaken or stay awake, that the most precious thing that we all educators need to be keep in mind. Because when we sleep, the world goes on. And yes, practical curriculum for our academic programs. As PUC, we provide the program from associate all the way to PhDs. So we can see our scholars thrive in different mediums with the curriculum that designed to help to promote and to prepare them to be ready to the world, make us PUC still standing strong into the markets that make us, provide us more opportunity to test out our theories, to test out our curriculums, and to test out and reassess the outcome of our vision as well. Not just that, we need everyone. We need you. We need all the people around the world. And today we come together, and today we spend time, even though using this social platform, using this Zoom networking, but yet we still connect in some way, somehow. And this just to make that connection even stronger through the collaborations of international level, and make sure everyone is not far away or left behind. Next one, please. We live in this together. This universe does not treat anyone less or anyone more. We all have the same 24 hours. We all
Sorry,
have
Dr.
a
Spear.
cultures.
Sorry, Dr. Spear, you still have 1 minute left. Can you
Yes, sir.
wrap up?
Yeah. But yet with the international collaborations, we're willing to adapt and to change to the level of the demand in the society and in the fast-moving world. I think I'm come to my end, the end of the slide. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for the collaborations, and thank you for the forums, and hopefully our participant will learn something, and I'm glad to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sophia, for sharing with us the very interesting session and reminding us the sustainability start with strong leadership and good governance, but succeed through adaptability, community engagement, and finally the international collaboration. So the key takeaway is that the future ready university must turn vision into action and build partnership that create lasting peace. So once again, thank you very much, Dr. Sophia, for sharing the very interesting lesson with everyone. So let me move to the next speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, we move from the leadership and governance to another critical dimension of university transformation, which is digital innovation, sustainability, and future-ready skill. So it is my great pleasure to introduce you all Dr. Lee Thiên Trang, Vice President of Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology, Vietnam. Dr. Trang has been with more than 20 years of experience in higher education management. Her area of expertise include internationalization, quality assurance, sustainability, employability, and educational innovation. She also oversees key areas including internationalization, quality assurance, international project ranking and rating, and sustainability at HOTEC. She also has been involved in international projects supported by organizations such as USAID, ADB, and the British Council, and she has presented at more than 20 international conferences. She also served as FBAA country expert in Germany. So her presentation today is entitled Redefining Higher Education Sustainability in the Digital Era, Global Trend, Challenge, and Opportunity. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Lee Thiên Trang. Dr. Lee Thiên Trang, you have 15 minutes for presentation, and for everyone to note, after every speaker, we will open the floor for your question,
Yeah.
Q&A, and sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Soronsun. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Simotech, Dr. Ai Song Hen, and Mr. Soronsun, and all organizing institution for giving me this great opportunity to talk about the redefining higher education sustainability in the digital era, global trends, challenges, and opportunity. Okay, give me the right to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you. My name Trang. I'm Vice President of Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology, HUTECH, in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And why now does we talk about education at the turning point for sustainability? In education, we can see that nowadays that we talk a lot about AI sustainability, and we also hear the presentation by Dr. Bernard, Dr. Quiz, also and Dr. Sophia. We all talk about AI and we also talk about sustainability. But are our university changing as fast as the world around us? So that's the question that because now in education, especially in higher education, that a lot of changes, AI and digital disruption, that is change the way how we educator teach our students and the way our students learn and a way we faculty member, educator do research and the way the employee worked, and also the skill revelation that this morning we also talk about the skill gap, the skill revelation, the skills changing very fast than the traditional curricular, and the climate change as well, climate and green transition. We talk about AI transition and also green transition because nowadays that the demand from industry in terms of the knowledge, the skill of the student, and also the green skill from the student as well. Very growing demand for responsible action and global partnership connection in order to address the global challenges, because that a lot of change in terms of demographic, economic, and geopolitical change as well. So what we cannot go along, we go together. And sustainability no longer just going green. When talking about sustainability, normally we think about us going green campus. So now there's new view in terms of sustainability for the university, how a sustainable university look like. If a university become carbon neutral tomorrow, would it automatically become a sustainable university? That the new view that they talk about the green, not about the environment responsibility, but also about the human, the people, the inclusion, the diversity, capability of the human, because of the human at the central point of all the transformation. And digital, we talked this morning, we talk about digital AI, but how we teach the student to use digital technology, AI responsibly. And quality, also very important, how we make our curriculum relevant to the change of industry. And how about the future ready education, not just only we refer the student for the knowledge, but also the skill, also the soft skill, and also the real skill, in order to address the problem, the challenges of the industry, of the community. And I just told you that we cannot go alone, we go together. Partnership, collaboration, the partnership between the industry, government, university, community, and also international partnership between us, between institutions around the world. We should go together. And resilient capacity to adapt and transform, very important. That means my key message that a sustainable university must remain relevant, responsive, and resilient. And now there are 5 global goals based on the information from UNESCO and ADB and other resources. The 5 global trends: reshape higher education, AI transformation that we talk about this, from digital tool, but should transform into the intelligent ecosystem. Now the AI that embedded in every activity of the university. And skill revelation, we also talk about that from degree to capability, about reskilling, upskilling, about the stackable degree, and also green transition, not moving from awareness to action, take action to contribute to sustainability, to address the global challenges, the climate change, so that's green transition also that's very important, moving from awareness to the action. And lifelong learning, 1 degree to continuous learning. This morning, our presentation, so many presentations also share about us. We need that to provide the learner, the lifelong learner, that's reskilling, upskilling, and also that's nowadays there's so many they talk about us moving from full degree to stackable courses in order to get the full degree, continuous learning. And finally, global responsibility, international activity in order to create global impact, partnership, collaboration, important. And AI is transforming the utility, but human at the central point. Human, the most important factor. That at utility, that human-centered AI does transform the teaching, the learning with the support from AI, personalize the learning process, and also that assessment, authentic assessment, and AI aware assessment, and also the AI, human-centered AI also supporting us in doing research, and also quality. With quality, how we enhance the quality of curriculum, the quality of institution. We also use AI to do learning analytics, evidence, and also the human-centered AI also support intelligent student service with the AI that we can support the student and manage data-informed decision. That Dr. Sophia talked about that leadership, good governance, and as the leader, how we use data to make decision, data-informed decision. Very important nowadays that data, the most important thing that's for the making decision. And that's based on the information from World Economic Forum, 39% of the workers' core skills are expected to change. And how our curriculum keep pace with the changes. We have the two group of skill, technology skill and human skill. Technology, we talk about AI, cybersecurity, technology literature, but human skill that's more important. That's need to embed it, need to provide learner, student with the human skill, creativity, resilient leadership, innovation, curiosity, and lifelong learning. How the future round age should look like. We should remember about 4 things, 4 verbs. To know, to apply, to create, and to adapt. To know that the knowledge, to apply that the skill, to create innovation, adapt to every situation, every environment, resilient, and the future ready rally should digital, AI literacy, technology literacy, but human skill, critical thinking, creativity, innovation, resilient collaboration, but also we need to provide students with the knowledge and skill as well for sustainability, literacy, system thinking, environmental responsibility. And we also provide students with intercultural competence, intercultural communication, global citizenship, how to prepare them to become global citizenship or cross-border collaboration, that intercultural, that partnership collaboration, very important in order to prepare students for the future ready graduates.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
Yeah.
You have
And
5 more minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. And from learning about to learning for sustainability, that learning that you can learning shift from learning about the climate change, sustainability, to learn for. To learn for, we need to provide students with system thinking, problem solving, responsibility, and action for. Take action. From knowledge to competencies and to action. And at WhoTech, we also embedded the sustainability development courses and AI application across 33 programs already. Thus, we provide students with sustainable and AI literacy. And but teaching methodology must change too, from content delivery to active to apply and transformative learning. We apply the project-based learning, problem-based learning, design thinking, experience, civic learning, collaborative learning for the student. Not just we move from teacher center to student center teaching methodology. And for example, at WhoTech, we embedded the courses across the program that's from project design, sustainability, AI, technology, and professional experience. And internationalization in curriculum for sustainable as well. That's for internationalization in curriculum for quality, education, diversity, inclusion, equity, and sustainability embedded in project design and many courses. And let's take an example, the module that we learn from, we adopt from Kanazawa Institute of Technology in terms of project design with this type, because of the limited of time that I cannot go through all the things. And for the every year that we organize that WhoTech Tech Show, in which the student also address the global challenges, the sustainability, contribute to sustainability, interdisciplinary. Every year there's more than 300 projects by students in many different engineering and technology field. And for internationalization, that we also focusing on sustainability as well. And all the activity also focusing on sustainability, meaning that's all activity of the university focusing on sustainability, not just only Green's campus. And that's the picture that I'm going to the picture from Vietnam and Asia. In Vietnam, we have so many new policy recently direct the digital transformation and green transition as well. Because Vietnam we have young and dynamic workforce, and also we also encourage internationalization. And at WhoTech, we also internationalization one of our top priority. And the key challenges that we talked this morning, we talk about skill gap, that I think that's based on so many information, that 6 challenges for sustainable higher education. Skill gap, digital AI gap, capability gap, implementation gap between strategy and practice, from paper into action, equity gap, diversity, equity, also important, that make sure no, or get on body included, no one left behind, or impact gap between activity to transformation. Normally we do activity, but separately, how we connect them together to transform the institution. Because based on the information that 63% identify skill gap as a major barrier for transformation. And turning challenges to opportunity. From challenges, so many challenges we found as AI disruption, skill gap, climate change, traditional teaching, global uncertainty, rapid change, and a lot of opportunity. We need to look at this. That the opportunity in personalized learning, flexible pathway. That so many experts also share. Skill-based curriculum, competence-based curriculum. There's also opportunity, real skill, innovation, project learning, project or experience learning. That's in the UCT that we should provide students with interactive teaching methodology, and also regional collaboration, lifelong learning. Or what is enabled, as we can decide that better learning, flexible learning pathway, stronger employability, engage students with the real settings from industry, internship, work exposure, or the guest speaker from industry, or order to bring the industry to the university, to the curriculum. And solution, the student skill, solution for society, that we ask the student to address the challenges, come up with a solution for the society, for the community. And Teach student learning by doing, experience learning, projects by learning, community-based learning, and share capability or resilient continuous adaptation. Because the change, so many changes nowadays, that resilient and adaptation, continuous adaptation also important. And sustainable usability of the future, that go around human also the most important factor, people before technology. Going digital, going green, resilient, quality driven for leadership, data, informed decision making, and global, connected, collaborative partnership. Even the partnership between the government, the industry, the university, and also partnership about the partnership amongst university like us, that in Asian we can do partnership. So many things that we can do together. That's all about my presentation. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, Dr. Trang. Very strong voice, very clear presentation, and very directing. So thank you very much. I think everyone has many questions because Dr. Trang has very interesting presentation. So we will open the floor for discussion at the end. I appreciate that Dr. Trang has shared with us how AI changing skill demand and global challenge reshaping the higher education. As I took note, the key takeaway is that university must adapt their curricular and learning approach to prepare graduates who are capable, responsible, and ready for lifelong changing and in the digital era. So, Dr. Trang, thank you for your insightful sharing and presentation.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Saron.
hope you
Thank you
can.
all. Yeah,
I
thank
hope you
you
can
all
stay with
participants.
us, and then I hope you can
Yeah,
stay with us and welcome the question from the audience, right? Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the next speakers. It is my great pleasure to introduce you Dr. Ma Filma Carlos Trier, the president of the Universidad de Manila of the Philippines. Dr. Trier brings more than 20 years of experience in teaching, research, community extension, and educational administration. She is an alumna of the National University of Singapore and Harvard Institute of Graduate Study, and complete the Global Academic Leadership Program at the Asian Institute of Management. A strong advocate for international partnership and quality education, Dr. Trier has contributed to strengthening Universidad de Manila global engagement and recognition, including its participation in the Impact Ranking 2026 and URI 2026 Global Top 500 Innovative University. So today her presentation is UDM Industry Community Partnership for Sustainable Development, connecting academy, industry, government, and community for impact. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Ma Filma Carlos Trier, the University President of Universidad de Manila, Philippines. Dr. Trier cannot join us now, but she has recorded the video because she's still in another very commentary meeting. So I think her secretary will share the video, right? Or you let us technical team to share? Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Still mute. We cannot
We don't hear the voice.
the voice. We cannot hear the voice. Please, thank you.
Maybe our team can share because our team also has her video.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, Could you share her video, please?
Greetings, distinguished colleagues, international delegates, esteemed researchers, and fellow advocates for higher education. First, allow me to acknowledge CIMEO TED, working on CIMEO Priority Area Number 4 under the leadership of Dr. Song Hyang Ai, for bringing us together for this important forum and for advancing conversations on the future of higher education in the region. It is an absolute honor to represent Universidad de Manila at the Hesdi Forum 2026. Today, I want to bring a very grounded practical perspective to this stage. My presentation, UDM Industry Community Partnerships for Sustainable Development, is a story of how a city-funded university in the heart of Manila translates sustainability and digital innovation into everyday, life-changing realities for local communities. The central question we face is, how do local universities deliver world-class, sustainable, and future-ready education without losing touch with the immediate grassroots needs of their people? Thank you for joining me today. Let us explore how local action drives global impact. To understand our approach to sustainability and innovation, we must first understand who we are at our core. Our identity is defined by these simple words: local in heritage, global in aspirations. First, we are anchored in civic service. We do not exist in an academic bubble. UDM is deeply rooted in Manila's rich history, serving as an educational lifeline for local families. We deliver accessible public education, run active community engagement programs, and foster dedicated civic leadership right down to the barangay level. Second, we are guided by global standards. Being a local university does not mean lowering our expectations or limiting it. We actively integrate international sustainability frameworks, specifically the UN Sustainable Development Goals and global performance metrics, directly into our local academic programs and city-level initiatives. Third, we are driven by applied innovation. We are clear and humble about our mission. UDM is not competing in an arena of academic competition or high-level abstract theory. Instead, we innovate for direct application, for relevance, for use of our community. We leverage accessible digital tools, modern technology, and agile learning models to solve immediate urban, community, and workforce challenges. This balanced approach, combining civic service with global standards, has yielded measurable results on the international stage. UDM is proud to be recognized in the Times Higher Education Sustainability Impact Rankings 2026, placing in the 1001 to 1500 overall global ranking out of over 1,600 participants. In the Philippines, we stand among 79 state universities and colleges, 73 private higher education institutions, and are recognized among the top local universities and colleges in the National Capital Region. I know that our ranking might even be higher than some of you. No? I know that your rankings might be better than us. But you see, our goal is really to be better today than we were yesterday. So I think we really have to compete with just ourselves. And why does this matter for a local university? Because these rankings are based entirely on how higher education institutions deliver on the UN SDGs. Looking at our detailed performance grid, in SDG 1, no poverty, we ranked 401 to 600 globally, reflecting our primary mandate to provide free, high-value public education to low-income Manileños. In SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and SDG 5, gender equality, we consistently benchmark in the 401 to 600 range, demonstrating how our campus facilities and university policies actively promote environmental responsibility and social equity. In SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, we ranked 801 to 1,000, and SDG 17, partnerships for the goals, we ranked 1,001 to 1,500. Benchmarking performance is only half the battle. The other half is building the industry and digital bridges that allow our students to thrive in a modern economy. This brings us directly to HESDI Objective 3, developing future-oriented skills in the digital era. For example, we have a partnership with Boss Job, and this is for digital recruitment and verified skill matching. Through tech-driven recruitment platforms, our students are directly connected with pre-verified employers, streamlining the transition from graduation to employment using modern digital job matching algorithms. Second example is our partnership with DSource. We established this technical industry linkage and digital workforce development. So this linkage provides technical learning modules, internship pipelines, collaborative research opportunities, and specialized skills training aligned with evolving market demands. Third would be with TESDA, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority of the Philippines, and our adopted communities. Partnering with government technical bodies like TESDA, we deliver industry training and local community empowerment. Notice how this connects with our community adoption, such as we have adopted Barangay 790 and Barangay 303 here in Manila, and we bring technology industry-aligned training and micro skills directly into these communities. We are building a continuous loop. Industry shapes our curricula, technology enables modern delivery, and our graduates go back to uplift their local neighborhoods. Sustainability in higher education is fundamentally about social equity and inclusion, ensuring that no learner is left behind due to financial, physical, or social barriers. Through the generous support of the City of Manila, UDM invests directly in every student. We frame our student welfare programs under the banner of inclusivity and social sustainability in higher education. Among all the services we provide on campus, we have a banner program called the Social Amelioration Program, or the SAP. And this started in 2019. This actually provides direct financial assistance to alleviate the economic burden on working class families. And of course, up to this day, we are still giving the students a 1,000 peso monthly allowance to provide perhaps for their transportation or maybe projects that they need to submit in school. So when a university guarantees health, food security, financial support, and career access, it creates an environment where students can break out of poverty and achieve their full potential. Our most meaningful operational initiative is UDM Cares, which stands for Crisis, Aid, Relief, and Economic Security. This program serves as a practical case study in institutional social responsibility and local sustainability. Let me break down how the CARES, C-A-R-E-S framework operates across our campus. For C&A, it's actually crisis aid, immediate emergency support, and campus assistance. When crises hit, whether natural disasters, economic shocks, or health emergencies, our crisis aid mechanisms activate immediately to protect vulnerable students and communities. For R, it stands for relief, food security via the soup kitchen and student community pantries. Throughout our 4-year timeline, our impact has scaled exponentially. In 2022, our soup kitchen served around 2,100 beneficiaries, and our pantry served 7,600. But by 2025-2026 academic year, those numbers grew to 6,200 for our soup kitchen and 10,000 for our community pantry beneficiaries. ES in the CARES is economic security, long-term student social amelioration and welfare programs. This is the SAP that I mentioned earlier, but food and immediate aid are also paired with long-term financial security initiatives to keep students enrolled and on track to graduate. This is practical sustainability in action. You cannot talk to a student about digital innovation or academic excellence if their basic nutritional and economic needs are not met. UDM Cares ensures that our campus remains a reliable safety net. As I highlighted earlier, our focus is on applied innovation, implementing practical, highly effective digital tools that directly enhance learning and operational efficiency. One example is our tech-driven curricula. We are embedding essential digital literacy, basic data tools, and modern software applications directly into our degree coursework across all colleges, ensuring that every UDM graduate enters the workforce equipped with practical industry-relevant technology skills. Recently, we have also touched base with industry partners to create micro-credentials. For example, we're in the works talking about micro-credentials we could give, especially on cybersecurity, through our collaboration with the leading telecommunications company, Globe Telecom. So these efforts are also reflected in UDM's strong showing in the WURI 2026 ranking, where our initiatives were recognized across research, international collaboration, and curricular innovation. Just proud to share with everyone that we ranked number 2 in category C1, which is a representative research project. This is an EAT Seismic Sentinel initiative, building an AI-enabled university ecosystem for earthquake resilience, life safety, and community protection. And I think this can actually respond directly to one of the most pressing realities faced by communities in the Philippines. Earthquake. We always experience earthquakes here. The initiative brings research and innovation closer to the realities of disaster preparedness, helping strengthen the capacity to anticipate, understand, and respond to seismic hazards. For a university located in the heart of Manila, disaster resilience is not an abstract concern. It is a responsibility to the city, its communities, and the people who live and work in it. We also ranked number 26 in category B8, international collaboration, openness networking, new exchanges, and capacity transformation. This is through UDM iConnect. UDM iConnect actually reflects the university's efforts to strengthen connections among its people, partners, communities, and opportunities while presenting a more cohesive identity to its stakeholders. For UDM, building our institutional brand is also about strengthening the visibility of a public university deeply rooted in Manila while increasingly engaging with national and international partners. Proud to share that we also ranked number 45 in category C3, which is curricular innovation for future readiness. And with a program that we call FUSE, or the Future Ready University Skills Enhancement Curriculum, this actually represents UDM's response to a rapidly changing world of work, connecting education with the evolving skills, competencies, and realities that students will encounter beyond the university. Together, these WURI recognitions demonstrate that innovation at UDM is not limited to technology alone. It is reflected in how we conduct research, build partnerships, strengthen our curricula, and prepare our students to create meaningful impact in the communities that we serve. This approach is reflected in our broader vision of transforming a local university into a global model, where our local roots become a strength, not a limitation. This is what strategic internationalization means for UDM, bringing the world to Manila while bringing Manila to the world. And this global outlook is supported by the university's broader institutional transformation. So let me share that we actually ranked 27 in category B1 of WURI, which is Visionary Leadership. And what is the project? It's actually entitled Transforming a Local University into a Global Model. What does it mean to transform a local university? For UDM, it means embracing our identity as a University of Manila while refusing to let geography define the limits of our ambition. It actually reflects the university's continuing institutional transformation, strengthening innovation, international engagement, industry and community partnerships, and programs designed around real-world impact. At the heart of this transformation is visionary leadership, the ability to see beyond the university's present circumstances, recognize its potential, and turn that vision into meaningful institutional change. So we also have what we call the Project Shake, or supporting households and LGUs awareness and knowledge for earthquake preparedness, which we ranked number 26 in WURI. The future is increasingly shaped by uncertainty, from disasters and disruptions to rapidly changing social and environmental conditions. Project Shake responds to this reality by strengthening UDM's capacity for preparedness, adaptability, and future-oriented action. Project Shake reflects UDM's commitment to preparing its students, institution, and community not only to respond to challenges when they happen, but to anticipate and navigate them. And this forward-looking approach complements our internationalization strategy. The same global challenges that require international cooperation, climate resilience, urban sustainability, public safety, and disaster preparedness also require universities to develop solutions grounded in their own communities. For UDM, this means looking outward without losing sight of our responsibility at home. Together, these WURI recognition highlight two important dimensions of UDM's transformation: visionary leadership that drives institutional change, and forward-looking initiatives that translate that vision into resilience, preparedness, and real-world impact. In closing, Universidad de Manila stands ready to collaborate with all of you gathered here at HESDI 2026, and let us work together, combining global standards with local action to build higher education institutions that are sustainable, digitally empowered, and deeply devoted to serving our communities.
Thank you very much, Dr. Trier, for very interesting and focused sharing and showing how the university, industry, community partnership can turn sustainability into practical action and social impact. So I have key takeaway from her session is that sustainable university should empower communities, strengthen partnership, and use digital innovation to create inclusive and lasting solution. I also congratulate to UDM for the wonderful progress and achievement this year. So ladies and gentlemen, we now have not just more than 3 minutes for Q&A. So I open the floor for a Q&A or additional sharing from the audience. Please introduce your name, institution, and your country. Please welcome the first question. And I think now Dr. Trier cannot stay with us. I think Dr. Trang from Vietnam is still with us. So I think you can direct the question to Dr. Trang. Let's hear from the audience. I have one question for Dr. Trang to capture what you have just shared. In rapid changing environment shaped by AI, sustainability, and new workforce demand, can you share with us what is the single most important change university leader should make today to ensure their institution remains sustainable and future ready? Just on the few key points that you want to add on your presentation. What is the single most important change university leader should make today to ensure their institutional remain sustainable and future ready? Thank you, Dr. Tra.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sarunsun. That's one of the most important as leader that we should train it for AI and sustainability. I think that's the most important thing that change the mindset. The mindset for the sustainability, for AI transformation, that when the mindset among the top leader manager, that the dean, the vice dean, faculty member, and student, and staff that chain, that we can have inclusive leadership. We get everybody on board as for sustainability, for AI transformation. That's the thing that I would love to say, that mindset change in order to have inclusive leadership as a leader. That I think the most important, we get everybody to make them understand why we should transform. That's why we should change, because of AI contribute to sustainability. That very important. Inclusive leadership in order to get everybody on board and to take action.
Okay, thank you very much for wonderful answering. And I invite the audience to share your question if you want. Or you can write on the chat room. Is there any question from the audience? Okay, so quiet. So because of the time, I thank you very much again. All the guest speaker, Dr. Sophia from Cambodia, Dr. Trang from Vietnam, and Dr. Tri from the Philippines, for all your wonderful sharing today. And we have learned a lot from the topic in this session one, especially on sustainability of the university. And I have noted that all of the speakers have shared a very practical experience and lesson learned, what they have been doing in their university with their own digitalization strategy and also good governance. So we very appreciate all your kindness, and even everyone, all the speakers are very busy with their time, but they still have to spend and share with us in this forum. So let's give them a round of applause, and we will move to the next session. And Dr. Trang, I hope we can see you again and see you in Germany next month, right?
Yeah.
We will
Okay,
join
thank
in the
you. Thank you.
UNESCO
See you in
conference.
Germany. Yeah,
Yeah,
in person.
and
Yeah,
I
thank you.
hope we will visit Hotech soon, because we wish to see you. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay,
So give the
Thank you,
floor
Mr.
back
Solution.
to the MC. The MC,
Yeah.
please lead the next session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunsurun, for facilitating the session one. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to session two of the AESDI Forum 2026, entitled Accelerating Digital and AI Transformation in Higher Education. To lead this session, it is my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Mr. Mohammed Takrim, Head of Human Resource Department, Bina, Insani University, Indonesia. Mr. Takrim will facilitate and lead the presentation and discussion in session two. Mr. Takrim, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the announcer. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and honor to serve as the moderator for these sessions. And in these sessions, second sessions, we are very fortunate to have three distinguished speakers who will share their insights, experiences, and perspectives on the future of higher education, digital transformation, and also artificial intelligence. So without further ado, let's begin our second sessions. But as always, before we begin, let me briefly explain the format of the sessions. We will have three presentations here, and for each speaker, we'll have approximately 15 minutes to deliver the presentations. And after all three presentations, we will have question and answer sessions. I encourage all participants to prepare the questions and also share the thoughts during the discussions. Well, let's begin with our first speaker. The first speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Indra Muiz. He is a rector of Bina Insani University and associate professor specializing in strategic management, digital transformations, innovations, and sustainable higher education. He earned his doctorate in management science from Pasundan University, Bandung, Indonesia, and has more than 2 decades of experience in higher education leadership, teaching, and also research. His research focuses on strategic management, digital transformations, artificial intelligence, innovations, organizational performance, and SME sustainability. As an active international speaker and academic collaborator, he has participated in numerous conferences and collaborative initiatives across Asia, promoting research partnership and the internationalization of higher education. Through his academic leadership and research, he is committed to advancing innovations, sustainability, and global collaboration in higher education. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, join with me in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Indra Is SSMM. To Mr. Indra, time is yours, please.
Thank you, Mr. Takrim. Before I start my presentation, let me have my coffee first.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Before I start my presentation, let me thank the leadership of Siameo TED, Cambodia-based, Dr. Song Hyang Ai, for the opportunity for me to share my experience in my campus, Bina Insani University, and also my thank you for Mr. Ibud, who has already assigned me to this forum. It is an estimable value I must appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about digital transformation, I would like to ask you a simple question. How many of us can imagine a day without using a smartphone or without using the internet? I believe the answer is very few. Today, almost every aspect in our life is connected through digital technology. We shop online, we communicate instantly, we work remotely, and even use artificial intelligence to help us make decisions. So, is there anyone here who wants to show my slide, please? Right, thank you very much. Naturally, higher education cannot stay the same. Universities around the world are facing unprecedented disruption. We are experiencing rapid changes driven by several powerful forces. First, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is transforming how we teach, how we learn, how we conduct research, and how we manage our universities. And second, the digital economy is creating entirely new jobs while making others obsolete. Employers now expect graduates to possess digital skills in addition to the academic knowledge. And third, we are entering the era of Industry 5.0. We are now in Industry 4.0, where technology works together with human creativity rather than replacing it. This means universities must prepare graduates who are not only technically competent, but also innovative, adaptable, and ethical. We are also witnessing the rapid growth of hybrid learning. Learning is no longer limited to the classroom, Now, the student expect a flexible, personalized, and technology-enabled learning experiences. At the same time, global competition is becoming increasingly intense. That universities are no longer competing only with institutions in their own countries, but with universities across the world. Finally, the skills required by employers are changing faster than ever before. Technical knowledge alone is no longer sufficient. Graduates need digital literacy, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and lifelong learning skills. And today, students are digital native and they have grown up with the technology, and they expect universities to reflect the digital world they live in. Meanwhile, industries are becoming increasingly AI-driven. If universities do not evolve, then the gap between higher education and labor market will continue to widen. That is why digital transformation is no longer optional. It is not simply about adopting new technologies. It has become a strategic necessity for every university that wants to remain relevant, competitive, and sustainable in the future. This brings us to an important question. How can universities accelerate the digital transformation in meaningful and sustainable way? And let me share some lessons that we have learned from Indonesia. Next slide, please. Now, when people hear the term digital transformation, many immediately think about technology, like buying computers, installing new softwares, and using artificial intelligence. But actually, digital transformation is much more than that. It is changing the way universities operate, from leadership and campus governance to teaching, learning, research, community engagement, and student service. Let me say that technology is only an enabler. The real transformation happens when people embrace change and when organizational culture support innovation. I think it's almost the same with some previous speakers just mentioned to us before. Next slide, please. Now let's have a look at Indonesia. Indonesia has more than 4,000 higher education institutions with millions of students across the diverse geographical area. This diversity creates challenges like unequal internet access. Some areas still face limited or unstable connectivity. And the next challenge is different institutional capacities. Universities have different levels of infrastructure, resources, and readiness. And then funding limitation. We all know that digital transformation requires investment and resources are not equal. And then faculty digital competency. Continuous upskilling is needed to use technology effectively. And at last but not least is about student readiness. Students need support to develop strong digital learning skills. Despite these challenges, Indonesia has made remarkable progress. more universities are adopting digital learning, improving digital services, and exploring innovative technologies. The challenge now, how can we make digital transformation more inclusive, effective, and sustainable across our diverse higher education system? Next slide, please. Now, here are 5 lessons from Indonesia. The first lesson is leadership comes first. Digital transformation is not about new technology. It's not about knowledge only, but it starts from leaders who have clear vision and strong commitment. Successful universities must have clear strategies, realistic roadmaps, and measurable targets, or we call it performance indicators, and also continuous evaluation. Let me say that leadership shapes culture and culture drives transformation. In short, without strong leadership, digital transformation is difficult to sustain. Next slide, please. Now, lesson number 2, digital learning must become student-centered. So again, it is not only about adopting new technologies. Digital transformation is not only about technologies. It is also not about moving the traditional classroom into digital platform. No. Through learning management system, blended learning, virtual laboratories, interactive learning, AI-assisted learning, micro-learning, and learning analytics, the student can study more actively, more interactively, and the most important one is they can study at their own pace. So the key message is simple. Technology should empower students to become active learners, not passive listeners. Next slide, please. Now, lesson 3. Artificial intelligence is transforming higher education. We all agree that AI is changing the way we teach, the way we do research, the way we do administration, and the way we deliver student services. So we can use AI tutoring, automatic assessment, academic advising, research support, library services, predictive analytics by implementing the artificial intelligence. However, AI should support educators, not replace them. And the most important thing we've got to remember is AI brings intelligence, yes, but human brings values. Next slide, please. Now, lesson number 4, digital transformation requires strong partnerships. It's about partnership. Digital transformation cannot be done alone by universities. Universities must have collaboration, a strong collaboration with industries, government, technology companies, international universities, professional association, and communication. I think Dr. Sophia has already discussed a bit about this. Why is it important? Partnership is important because partnership brings new knowledge. Partnership brings new technology. And the most important thing, partnership brings a real-life experience to the universities. Then, most importantly, partnership will help universities innovate and provide the skills for the students that are needed by the industries. So let me say that without a strong partnership, it is not about, again, adopting technology. It is also about creating a strong ecosystem together. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now we come to lesson number 5. Digital transformation must support sustainability. As we know that technology should create economic, academic, social, and environmental sustainability. So we can use paper administration. We can do paperless administration. We can create smart campuses. We can develop digital libraries. We can also deliver online academic services. And we can do virtual mobility. And also we can implement efficient resource management. In short, digital transformation should make universities stronger, greener, and more inclusive all in all. Next slide, please. Now here is a case study from Bina Insani University. At Bina Insani University, digital transformation has become part of our institutional strategy. Here are some initiatives that we have already done so far. We have provided easier access to academic information and services for students. And we also we have already supported learning and teaching beyond the traditional classroom. And we also we have already done digital monitoring, evaluation, and documentation for more systematic and efficient processes. And we have also reduced the paperwork, improved efficiency, and providing better services, faster services also. And then we have already conducted virtual conference, guest lectures, and joint activities and global academic partnership. And we have also explored how AI can support lectures and students in the learning process. And last but not least, we have worked together on research projects with universities and institutions worldwide. And the impact that we have so far, although we are still learning, this initiative have improved our service quality, our operational efficiency, our institutional collaboration, our student engagement. One lesson from our experience is digital transformation does not have to happen at all once. We can start with practical initiative, learn from the process, and gradually build a stronger digital university ecosystem. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now here, can you go back? Here are some challenges ahead that we have. We have to overcome this, like digital inequality, AI ethics, cybersecurity, data privacy, faculty digital literacy, funding, and resistance to change. Then the biggest challenge is not the technology. The biggest challenge is changing organizational mindset. I think this one is mentioned by Professor Trang before. And then digital transformation will succeed when people are willing to learn, collaborate, experiment, and embrace change. We must transform not only our technology, but also the way we think, the way we work, and the way we lead our universities. Next slide, please. So here are 5 recommendations for this forum. The first, develop long-term digital transformation strategies, and then invest continuously in faculty digital competency. Then we need to strengthen international collaboration. We need to integrate AI responsibly into teaching and administration. And we need to always align digital transformation with institutional sustainability. The key question is not only what technology should we adopt. The more important question is how can technology help our university remain relevant and sustainable in the future? Next slide, please. Then let's build a better future together. Universities that innovate today will lead and make a difference tomorrow. Transform today, inspire tomorrow. Thank you very much, and go back to Mr. Moderator. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the meeting.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Indra Muiz, for that insightful and thought-provoking presentations. I believe that we have gained several valuable perspectives from your presentations. You know, the digital transformation in higher education is not merely about adopting technology, but a comprehensive cultural and operational shift driven by visionary leadership and centered on student learning. So by responsibly integrating artificial intelligence and fostering strong collaboration across industries, governments, and international institutions, universities can overcome challenges like infrastructure gaps and resistance to change to build an inclusive, relevant, and sustainable educational ecosystem. Well, thank you once again to Mr. Indra for your great presentations. Okay, now let's move on to our second speaker, who will provide us with another important perspective too, with the topic transforming teaching and learning through digital innovation and artificial intelligence. He is Professor Dr. Rizwan Cherus. Is a professor in technical and vocational education and training, or TVET, at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, UPSI, Malaysia. With more than 2 decades of academic and teaching experience, he holds a PhD from University Kebangsaan Malaysia and has served in various academic and leadership positions, including Dean of the Faculty. He is actively involved in TVET governments and international academic organizations and has contributed to the development of several TVET programs. His achievements include being named Best Professor in TVET Education Leadership in 2018 and also one of the 251 Fabulous Global Education Leaderships in 2019 and receiving the Outstanding Contribution to Education Award at the Asia Education Award 2025. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Ridwan Cherus. So the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Can you hear me clear? Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir,
you, Mr.
very
Zakrin.
clear.
Yes, very clear,
Colleagues,
sir.
members from HESDI conference seminar today. Ladies and gentlemen, so today, because we have a limit of time, I will share, can you show my slide, or I will present my slide? Okay, so a little bit sharing about transforming teaching and learning through digital innovation and artificial intelligence. I think Mr. Chairman already introduced me. So we do have like the current discussion from the early in the seminar today, the forum today, until now, we talking a lot about the transforming, how to reform the teaching process, and anything about the digital innovation and also the AI. But I want to highlight some things about when we talk. So I have to share my slide first. Okay. We start with the challenges to change, starting from the landscape, the real issue, the response, and key takeout, and why we need to transform the teaching and learning process. So I think before this, we are talking about the general education process. Right now, we're talking about the process of personalized learning. I think some of the experts already sharing how to use the personalized in the teaching and learning process. So I think from one size fits all teaching, we call it the one size fits all, to adaptive human-centered learning. So we use the AI-driven world of work. We know we have to understand the diverse learners and need, and also we're talking about data-driven or data-informed improvement in our teaching and learning in the classroom and also at the university higher education level. And we know we discuss about ILO, rapid skill, the current need set of skill and the future need of skill. And we're talking also about the personalized and inclusive learning, either for normal people, for the special needs people. We're talking about the inclusive learning, and also we talking about the flexible, resilient, and access after the COVID, the post-normal COVID. Until right now, we are promoting the online and distance learning. So the digital innovation expand what is possible, and AI makes learning more responsive, personalized, and also scalable. Then we start with the landscape. I think we are talking a lot about in the earlier the forums. So higher education is at the inflection point. 80% of students now using AI tool in their studies, but although the 80% use the AI, but we still have less of students that have less lack of access to the digital. So 3 in 5 of educators feel underprepared to teach in the AI-enabled classroom, that student more advanced than the teacher. And the first priority is closing the gap between the graduate skill and also the industry 4.0, industry 5.0, or society 5.0. So we have the global issue. We start from regional, from Cambodia to South Korea. Institutions are asking the same question: how do we transform responsibly at speed? So this is very important to discuss. They have 4 issues standing in the way. The first one is uneven digital access from the rural and urban, from the Southeast Asia, Europe, America, North America, South America. We do have a lot of uneven digital access through infrastructure and connectivity gaps between the institution. The second one is about the faculty readiness, how educators lack time, training, and confidence to redesign pedagogy based on use of digital innovation in their classroom, or use in AI in their preparing of teaching plan or lesson study in their classroom. And also we're talking about the academic integrity between the professor, between the student. So we do have a lot how we use the AI in terms of preparing a material for teaching and learning, how to assess that the pre-AI model are being outpaced. But the current issue is our students no longer to think, because they are depending 100% on the AI. So that's why what they call the education, the higher education without soul. They just search or through the AI using in their daily life or in the teaching and learning process, but the culture of thinking itself now less decreased compared to 10 years ago. And also we also have a skill mismatch between the current graduate, especially for higher education, because they have depending too much toward the digital fluency industry 4.0 or 5.0 demand. And also I think I can skip this one. I think most of our speaker today discuss a lot about uneven digital access infrastructure, about the faculty readiness and the pedagogical shift, and also the academic integrity in the AI era. We can have an assignment 100% did by the AI, and also about the thesis, also about the research. And we can see several cases from the top university in the world also have some issue among the professor about the academic integrity. And also our graduate, this is a very important when we're talking about teaching and learning at the higher education and also at the school level. They have a mismatch between what they need by the industry, what the skill needed by the industry, and also what they're taught at the institution. And then what we have to do, we have to move from challenges to a practical response. So this is very important. We focus on the access first. So how we can see AI as a support tool, AI personalized access flexible learning. So some part of the world talking about the relevancy of the university right now. Either we depend on the lecturer or professor at the university, or we can learn ourselves using an AI machine, AI model as a language model that we can learn every day without the teacher, without the professor. But talking about the thinking, the thought process, the what they call the design thinking and everything, we need people that think. So this is very important. Although we talking about the access, the blended first design, the share regional infrastructure. Although this in Southeast Asia, they have some country is very advanced. Some country they have a limitation about the access. Some part of the country within Malaysia also, we do have a lot of some issue about the accessibility, and also how we adapt the learning tool. That we have a lot of learning tool which AI model suitable for certain country or certain people. And the number two, we're talking about the people, how we build the educator capacity, not just access. The first, the protected redesign time, how the teacher need to design the current curriculum to make sure they are relevant with the current student. And then the second one is about peer communities of practice, COP. So we need to have a lot of community of practice among academicians and also among the professor at the university. So we can collaborate together to enhance our curriculum. And also for the flexible learning, we trying now to offer the micro credential and also the small part, which is a 1 credit standalone micro credential. And also we have stackable degree that combine standalone micro credential credit, and also we can have a stackable degree. And number three, about trust, redesigning assessment for the AI era. We have a lot of technology we can use for the Viva session. We are using the AI to make our assignment without use our thinking process. So the second one is about how we assess the authentic process to make sure that our student, our graduate have the authentic skill that they need to use for the industry use. And number four is about the strategy. I think the previous panel talking about the detail about the strategy, how institution roadmap for transformation. Either we use AI governance policy, we use some tool like the Turnitin using AI to detect AI. But what the baseline for using AI in the current assignment of the student, current thesis of the student. And then we're talking about the investment plan, because when we invest in the AI or digital transformation, we need some investment, not only from the university, but from the school, but also from the industry and also the government. That's why it's very important we see the strategy, how to make sure our transformation designed very well from the institution level until the government level. And also we need the industry as a co-design to make sure that our curriculum is relevant enough with the current industry demand. So we need the AI driven plus industry-led curriculum. Okay, so bringing it together, they have three things that we need to act as small part as an individual, also a small part as an administrator of the university, of the school, and also the small part as the student. Start where you are. Pilot one course, one assessment redesign, one faculty cohort. Don't wait for a perfect institution-wide plan. So you have to start by your course, using your course, and then you can start plan your lesson plan or your syllabus or your teaching plan to make sure that you try to transform, but have the balance or hybrid with the normal traditional way of teaching, which is the student need to plan, but the AI as a support tool. Second one is invest in the people first. So we need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Our lecturer, professor, also the student, because the world are moving, the global world are moving, the people also are moving. So instead of talking only focus on about infrastructure and tools matter, but the faculty confident and time determine whether transformation actually happened. We start or with the term technology acceptance model or UTAP. So we need to assess how our people ready to change. Third one is a govern. Don't just adopt. A clear policy on AI use and academic integrity turn anxiety into shared workable norm. So this is a very important. I think that's all for a little limit of time. I'm sharing about how we transform. So let's transform teaching and learning together thoughtfully and the pace of our student need. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Ridwan, for your excellent presentation and for sharing this valuable insight with us. Yeah, we know that digital transformation and AI are no longer optional for higher educations. They are becoming essential changes in how universities teach, assess, and also prepare graduates for the future of work. Of course, however, successful transformation cannot be achieved simply by adopting new technologies. Universities need to address four major challenges, like unequal digital access, faculty readiness, academic integrity, and also the mismatch between graduate skills and industry 4.0 needs. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ridwan, for your great presentations. Okay, now we move to our last speaker, the third speaker, who will provide us with another important perspective too. Dr. Young-Jun Chang is professor of Jeju Halla University, South Korea. His professional career is highlighted by academic and structural leadership at Jeju Halla University since August 2019, serving as associate professor along with key executive roles, including department head, school, and vice dean of industry University Corporation Foundations, and executive director of the R&D division in the Anchor Center. Prior to these positions, international research expertise was built as a senior research at Institute of Sweden. And also the academic foundation was established through significant research position in South Korea, including research assistant professor at KAIST School of Electrical Engineering 2015 until 2016, and postdoctoral research fellow in the medical imaging and robotic laboratory at SN Medical Center, University of Ulsan. Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming Professor Dr. Young-Jun Chang with the titles about AI and digital transformation in learning and teaching experience from Jeju Halla University, South Korea. So please, to Mr. Chang, time is yours.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Yes, sir. Very
Great,
clear.
great. Thank you for inviting me to this great talk. Well, I'd like to introduce some project going on in our university. Several years ago, the president and some university professors consider that AI may be the key player in this educational field. So, the students, professors are like most important partners in that field. So maybe AI can be substituted for professor or educational um, um, important partners. So we did some implement project to make AI professors, and I'd like to introduce this project in this forum. So first of all, I'd like to recognize my dear colleague, Youngjun Lee, who created this slide deck and is the lead contributor to this project because he is currently out of town for an important project proposal. I will be presenting this talk on behalf. To give you a quick background, this project is actively driven by him, and I was involved in the initial pilot study 2 years ago. We are now preparing to expand this pedagogical methodology beyond our campus to our universities across South Korea, internationally, through a government-backed KOICA project in Uzbekistan, and to partner institutions worldwide. So let me start. Today, we stand at a critical crossroads in higher education. As AI begins to instantly deliver answers to almost all academic questions, we must ask ourselves a fundamental question. What actually becomes scarce when answers are free? In other words, answers are free by AI. What do we do as a human being or as a human professors? We need to find the insufficient things which is not complemented by AI. So it is no longer about how students find answers, but how universities redefine learning. Today, I would like to share the journey of Jeju Halla University, outlining our data-driven AI architecture designed to transform our educational ecosystem from the ground up. Next slide, please. So to understand these schemes and systematically drive this change, we built a 5-layer educational innovation architecture as in this figure. We don't view AI as a simple add-on tool. We view it as a structural overhaul. Let's look at this structure from the bottom up. At the foundational first floor, we have a sovereign AI and our integrated data lake. Moving to the second floor, the operating system manages our infrastructure, roadmap, and key performer indicators, KPIs. On the third floors, we deploy the customized AI services, including the Meta Professor and intelligent assistants for learning, administration, and research. The fourth floor consists of our 4 pillars: empowering faculty, reforming curriculum, enhancing student competency, and managing data-driven education. Finally, at the peak, the 5th floor defines our vision of future-ready educational system that actively responds to industrial demand through AI-driven personalization, which was presented by previous presenters too. Next slide, please. Let us look deeper into the foundation, first floor. The most critical mistake a university can make is rushing to buy expensive commercial large language models without preparing their own foundation. We argue that building an integrated data lake must precede purchasing LLMs. Our data lake unifies academic records, LMS, in other words, learning management system, interactions, administrative data, and industry academic research. By pairing this with sovereign AI, our self-reliant private GPU infrastructure, we ensure zero data leakage and absolute privacy. We are building a self-reliant educational ecosystem that is entirely free from dependency on external big tech companies. Next slide, please. So with AI delivering basic content, what is the role of the professor? We must shift our positioning from human in the loop to human on the roof. In the past, professors acted in the roof, spending endless hours manually reviewing, approving, and grading repetitive assignments. As a human on the roof, the professor becomes a system and rule designer. They formulate the overarching questions, define the evaluation standards, and set boundaries. Under this division of labor, the meta professor handles routine knowledge delivery 24 hours, 7 days, multilingual Q&A, and preliminary grading. This frees the human professor to focus on what truly matters: deep discussions, project-based learning, and high-touch emotional mentorship. I can call it as an inspiration. Next slide. So to successfully operationalize this on the roof role, we established a systematic framework of 5 core judgment questions shared by both professors and AI. Problem definition: what boundary we are setting for AI. Second, stakeholders: who is the problem important to? Who must specify receivers like students or regulators? Q3, value conflict: what values are in conflict, such as on administrative convenience versus pedagogical responsibility? Question 4, evidence standards: on what basis we are making decisions? We look at the digital footprints of data and the rules. And the 5th, withholding judgment: when must we pause the AI and let human decide? This is critical for exceptions outside current regulations and safety critical decisions. We cannot break the law, so it's an important issue. Next slide, please. So how do we actually build this AI professor? We follow 4 design principles: seamless LLMS integration, hybrid optimization of global and local models, Socratic pedagogical dialogue, and virtual meta-humans. Technically, this is powered by a robust 4-tier tech stack: the agent layer on the top, followed by the AI engine utilizing large language models and RAG system, like retrieval augmented, and sitting on the data layer with knowledge graphs and vector DBs, all running on our sovereign GPU infrastructure. This enables a 3-tutor system where the dean agent structures the curriculum, the teacher agent delivers Socratic explanations, and the student agent tracks exactly where a student gets stuck. So as a one single professor teaching one single course, maybe you can play these three kinds of role together with the help of AI. So let me go a little bit detail for this explanation. Can you move to next slide? I must be honest, before I explain the details of these three roles, like dean or professors or student, we have some trial and errors, of course. So we have to be, I have to be honest with you. Our initial pilots broke down in several places. Innovation does not happen without friction. So we learned painful but invaluable lessons. First, we faced scaling limits. We realized that simply increasing the size of AI model does not solve educational problems if there is no proper data connection or agent pipelines. In other words, if we have a very large language model, we may not have right answers or the answers we want. Second, we suffered grading breakdown. By setting excessively narrow evaluation criteria, the AI marked semantically correct student answers as wrong, simply because the wording is different. So it failed to award partial credit. As a human being, we know that this answer, even if it is slightly different from the word answer or the in appearance answer, exact answers, we know that this is right answer. But AI often fails. Finally, we faced the copy-paste issue where students over-relied on external AI tools, bypassing actual learning. They don't learn. So that's kind of our lessons. So let's move to next slide. So you can see some skeleton and other things. These failures pointed us directly to three indispensable pillars that we must design ourselves: skeleton, standard, and line. Skeleton is the ontology, the essential conceptual structure, and prerequisites of a course. The standard is the rubric, not just a single correct answer, but the conditions that make an answer correct. And the line is the boundary, the human-only domain where AI cannot make the final decision. Ultimately, the professor's true role is to stand in the position of the dean to draw the skeleton, set the standard, and define boundary. We are now in the process of a student, but we want to be dean on the roof in the ultimately. So can you move to next slide? Let's put this into practice. For course ontology, we map out the semester using only 5 to 6 core concepts. We establish clear prerequisite pathways and return paths. For example, if a student fails to understand concept C, the system automatically redirects them back to concept A, which is prerequisite to concept C. For the standard, we write a robust rubric using exactly 4 lines of criteria under which rule or methodology the work must be done, with which milestone or intermediate step is being verified. Expression flexibility, recognizing semantically equivalent answers despite different wording.
Sorry to
And
interrupt
last,
you. Yeah, you have 3
how
more
many
minutes.
minutes do we have more?
3 more minutes. Thank you.
Okay, great. I can finish, I think. Partial credit allocation per step as a rubric or standard. This completely prevents the grading breakdowns we experienced earlier. So can we move to the next slide? To expand this model, we have launched the AID Alliance. It's like a joint collaboration between several universities. I hope maybe we have some chance to collaborate together with the university in this forum. We are executing this transformation through practical 4-step roadmap. Step 1, draft the single-page course skeleton, mapping the ontology. Step 2, establish the 4-line rubrics just I explained. And step 3, conduct learner and industry demand surveys. Step 4, evaluate automation feasibility. Tools can be chosen later. What matters now is our mindset and our pedagogical framework. Let us work together to build a university where technology empowers and human mentorship truly shines. To conclude, making the AI professors truly practical requires realistic communication. With parachute dubbing from East Soft in South Korea, we can convert slide decks directly to multilingual AI avatar lectures with precise lip sync and voice cloning. This removes the burden of studio filming and allows professors to focus on mentoring as human on the loop. Also, we have some demonstration. Can I share my screen to show you the demonstration?
Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you. Can you see my browser?
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Please, for the
I hope
operator,
you can enable the voice too. I will turn this. This is English to Chinese. The original data is right.
Annie, and I will join by my great coworker.
This is translated version.
同事数据专家 Jeff.
But can you notice that the lip is not synced in the translated language? So we have like this one.
介绍一下自己。Hi Annie，我是 Jeff，跟 Cloud 开发者关系工程师。
I know that there are several other countries for this forum participants, so I did another one like English to Vietnam.
Chào mọi người, chào mừng đến với thực hành AI. Tôi là Annie và đồng hành cùng tôi là đồng nghiệp Jeff, chuyên gia về dữ liệu. Chào Jeff, anh giới thiệu về mình nhé. Chào Annie, tôi là Jeff, chuyên gia phát.
I have Filipino, Indonesian, and Malaysian language translation, but I think time is limited, so I will stop. But I will show you just one, like oh.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Chang, for your excellent presentation. Also, interesting slide.
Is it finished?
To see. Yes, it's finished the times.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, this is like
thank you,
Uzbekistan, the AI professors. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you also for the presentations and sharing this valuable insight with us. In an era where AI can instantly deliver answers, university must shift their focus from merely purchasing technology to building data sovereignty or sovereign AI, and also redefining the role of educators. Also, higher education institutions are encouraged to establish a centralized integrated data lake and private GPU infrastructure to eliminate dependency on big tech while guaranteeing absolute data privacy. Yeah, we have heard different perspective, but they also highlight one important message from the speakers. Yeah. Higher education is undergoing significant transformations, particularly with the rapid development of digital technology and artificial intelligence. So thank you very much to all three of our distinguished speakers for those excellent and insightful presentations. Now we will move to our question and answer sessions. So this is an opportunity for all to use this chance, yeah. Give some questions to our speakers, and please you can raise your hand if you have any questions or open your microphone. Okay, for the participants, please, do you have any question to our speakers today? Yeah, we have one questions from the chat box, yeah. How can universities balance the need for rapid digital transformation with the equally important goals of sustainability, inclusivity, and quality insurance? It's from Mr. Adrianus. What actually for? Maybe Mr. Indra, can you give your answer about the questions? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Takrim. As far as I'm concerned, the leadership of the universities must have a clear vision and strong commitment in implementing the digital transformation. Then we should set our vision and mission statement, and we should create our strategy to make or to realize the vision and the mission statement of the universities. And the most important thing is to set up rules, regulation that can make it balance. And also, as I have already mentioned and shared before, we need to see our organizational culture, whether it support the innovation, the new technology, the new knowledge or not. So in short, we as the member of the organization are supposed to be proactive in doing the digital transformation. I think we should see our vision statement, our organizational culture, and it should support the innovation. And we try to make the people collaborate in our organization to internalize the digital transformation itself. So it is important to note that digital transformation is about our organizational mindset. So we need to be proactive, we need to be innovative, and we need to have a strong commitment and also a clear vision in order to implement the digital transformation in our universities. That's my answer, Mr. Takrim. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Indra, for your answer. Maybe from Mr. Chang or Mr. Ridwan, wanna add something about the answer from Mr. Indra? Yeah, Mr. Chang or Mr. Ridwan? Is enough? Okay, yeah. For the answer, yeah. So we have to set our vision, mission, and also strategy. Also need to see our organizational culture, of course, if we want to digitalization transformations. Okay, well, we open once more for the questions. Is there any questions for this session? Okay, no questions. Yes, and now we move to in the end of these sessions. Yeah. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our sincerest appreciations to all three of our distinguished speakers, Mr. Indra from Indonesia, and also Mr. Ridwan from Malaysia, and Mr. Chang from South Korea for sharing their knowledge, experiences, and valuable insight with us today. I also would like to thank to all participants, for your attentions and also questions, active engagement, and throughout the sessions. I hope that today's discussion has given us not only new perspectives, but also practical ideas that we can take back to our own institutions. Once again, thank you very much to our speakers and to all of you for being part of these sessions. It has been a pleasure serving as your moderator. Thank you. Now, back to the announcer, Ms. Nanita.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Takrin, for facilitate session 2. Ladies and gentlemen, as we now come to conclusion of the Higher Education, Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum HESDI 2026, we have reached to the closing ceremony of our forum. Over the course of today's program, we have had opportunity to listen to inspiring presentation, exchange ideas, and share valuable experience on higher education, sustainability, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, future skill, and strategy partnership. These insights and perspectives shared today has provided us with valuable ideas and practical approach for preparing higher education institutions and graduates for the rapidly changing digital era. To formally conclude the HESDI Forum 2026, it is my sorry. To formally conclude the HESDI Forum 2026, it is my great honor and pleasure to invite Dr. Estel Anas Venezuela, chairs of the P2A Asian AI Council advisory member, to deliver the closing remark. Dr. Venezuela has been a strong advisor to regional cooperation, innovation, and advancement of education in the Asia and Asia-Pacific region. We are deeply honored to have her share reflection and closing message with us today with her record video. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm to Dr. Estel Anas Venezuela.
Dr. Song Heng Ai, the Director of CMAO TED, Dr. Ai Sinjan, Assistant Director of UNESCO INRULED, Dr. Budiarto, the Chairman of Cooperative Indonesia, to our dear teachers, to our dear students, good afternoon. And first, let me congratulate all of you for attending the very successful Higher Education Sustainability and Digital Innovation Forum. I think we will leave not simply with new ideas, but with a renewed sense of purpose and responsibility. Today in this forum, we're reminded that the future of higher education is not only about becoming more digital, but it is also becoming more human, more inclusive, more sustainable, and more responsive to the needs of our society. You learned that digital innovation is not just here to improve our society. We also learned that digital innovation can really help us propel an inclusive society and an inclusive economy, because digital innovation gives us powerful tools, of course,
And it is also our values, our vision, and our leadership that determines how we can use all of these that we have learned in this forum. We must equip our learners and, of course, our colleagues who are relying on our assistance with digital and AI competencies. I think UNESCO materials and handbooks and manuals and guidelines have given us a lot of references to enhance our creativity, critical thinking, ethics, empathy, and cultural understanding. In Passage to ASEAN, we just completed the ASEAN AI Hackathon, and we would like to congratulate our ASEAN winners, of course, from the Philippines, from Cambodia, from Indonesia, Thailand. Of course, Singapore also won in that ASEAN AI Hackathon, and our host country, Vietnam. So I'd like to think that all of these initiatives on digital innovation and transformation should have a flavor of sustainability, and it must go beyond environmental sustainability. Of course, it must include sustainable leaders and young people like you, sustainable institutions, and sustainable communities that we serve in this part of the world. We build universities, we build educational institutions and colleges to make it more digitally advanced, but at the same time, they must be socially responsible. So I'm very delighted that the Passage to ASEAN, CMEO, TED, and our colleagues from UNESCO, INRULED, and our partners from Indonesia have bonded together and strengthened partnerships to share knowledge, invest in our educators, and at the same time empower our learners and our students to ensure that innovation becomes a bridge, not as a barrier to opportunities. Let us simply help one another in these very difficult times of digital transformation, but at the same time, let us create a system that is integrated within ASEAN community so that we can prepare for the future that we want for our learners. Again, congratulations to all of you for completing the course, and I really do hope that I can join you next time. Well, finally, let me remind you that the future is digital. Thank you for attending this session. The future must also be sustainable, and above all, the future must remain human. Congratulations once again, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you for attention. Before we officially conclude the Hesdi Forum 2026, we would like to share a few important announcements and invite your participation in our final activity. First, regarding to the e-certificate, we would like to inform all the participants that your e-certificate of your participation will be prepared and sent you electronic after the forum. We kindly ask you to check your email address that you use for registration. Once again, please be assured that your e-certificate will be sent to your email letter within 1 week. We greatly appreciate your participation in Hesdi Forum 2026. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly ask everyone to turn on your cameras and prepare for our virtual group photo. Please make sure that your camera is switched on, and if possible, position yourself so that your face is clearly visible on screen. Are we ready?
Mang bạn về giúp chị.
Everyone, please look at the camera and give us your best smile. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. I'd like to take one more photo for the great memory. Everyone. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you very much, everyone. Another important suggestion, we would greatly appreciate your affection and contribution to today's forum. We now like to invite you all to share your feedback on the forum. May I kindly ask everyone to take a moment to scan the QR code and complete the survey. Your feedback is very important to us. It will help the organizer evaluate the forum and improve future program activity and regional incentive. Please complete the forum evaluation survey by scanning QR code displayed on your screen. Please share your honest feedback, comment, and suggestion.
करो स्कैन मेरे से नहीं हुआ है सर्वे लेंगे क्या सर्वे फॉर्म क्या वन कर
Everyone, please complete, Everyone, please complete the forum evaluation survey by scanning the QR because it is attendant and the certificate will scan and send you after you filling the survey form. Please. Once again, please complete the forum evaluation survey by scanning the QR code because it is attendant and the certificate will send you after you complete the survey form. Thank you.
Well done, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Chang. I think it's late time for your lunch, right? Professor Chang, it's your lunch time?
It's already over. It's 2:13 p.m.
Oh, two. I think it's lunch
It's
time
fine.
for Indonesia also. Maybe Malaysia and Korea a little bit.
2 hours,
It
maybe.
is disturbing
I don't know
lunchtime.
about the Malaysian time. What time is it now in Malaysia?
We are at 12 now. 12.
Okay. 2 hours. Faster in South Korea.
I hope to visit Jeju again this year, December. I
I
heard
heard
Jeju
that
will
from
have
Professor
conference.
Shin that
Yeah.
maybe some of you will
Okay.
come, right?
Yes, we will need to
Okay.
discuss further. Yeah.
Thank you
And
for
I
the
hope everyone
compliment, by
here
the way.
will register.
Yeah, thank you for the compliment in the email. You replied to me that the PPT material was good. I didn't reply to you, so but I thanked for that comment.
Thank you.
So can I leave? Because I have another schedule.
You can leave, Professor. Thank you.
Okay.
Everyone,
Nice to
after
meet
you
you.
fill the survey, you can leave. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
maybe hopefully see you in Jeju. Bye bye.
Yeah, see you in Jeju. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Saruan.
Thank you,
Bye.
Dr. Chang.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvia. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Indra. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Dr.
Mr. Saran.
Thank you, Takrim,
Hi,
for
Dr.
your
Indra. How
best
are you?
presentation.
Hi, Professor
Thank you, Mr.
Sophia. How
Saran.
are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Nice
Thank
to
you
see
for
you.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And send my best regard to Prof. Don, okay?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
See you in another occasion.
Okay. Permission to leave.
Can we close our session, Mr. Saran?
I think not yet because some of us still not yet fill the
We're waiting
survey
for
for certificate. Rather, maybe you give them 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes will be finished.
Okay.
No.